Metaphiles, coming back at you for another week.
Whoa.
Yeah. Zach Caffrey here.
I'm Jason Michael Ford.
And this is Metaphiles, the podcast that talks to shoe.
What? Sure.
This week, all hour, it is the podcast that talks to shoes.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about going to the gym, but this episode is specifically being recorded to be listened to by shoes. So everybody please take your headphones off and put them in your shoes.
Don't put your shoes back on.
This is not for you this week. Don't put your shoes back on. You break your headphones, and you still won't be able to hear it.
Just don't walk anywhere.
Don't walk anywhere until the podcast is over.
Your shoes are going to love it.
Just assume that the podcast is 3 hours, just in case, this week.
Yeah.
And at the end of 3 hours, you will know it is safe to remove the headphones from the shoes. You can put them back in your ears and hear silence. And then you can put your shoes back on and probably do a funny little walk because your shoes will have had so many funny things happen to them. So starting now, goodbye, human listeners. Hello, shoe listeners. What do we want to say to them?
Well, as long as they're not all tied up, they got the best sole of any article of clothing. They got the soles, you know.
They do have more tongues than ears, but hopefully they don't mind just listening for a little while.
Right.
And now that we've laced up that bit and probably run through pretty much all the necessary words, let's motherfucking talk shoes, Jay.
Let's cobble together a good show here.
Yes. Let's not don't tread on me. Don't tread on me, bad podcasting.
Yeah.
This is a good podcast, and it's about shoes. And...
Hey, wait. Here. Somebody sent off some fireworks. There it is. There it goes. Just the shake, you know? Little leftover, little tiny fireworks make it to the bottom of the firework bag. You gotta use them.
Yeah. Because when you buy your firework bag, you don't know what's in there.
No.
But if you don't use it all, then the firework makers do get sad. They do. They're human.
Yeah.
They think, they didn't like the whiz bangs.
Is there something? Is it my fault?
I worked very hard on the whiz bangs.
They whiz and they bang.
And I've been
really well.
And I've been sitting outside in my yard, and I've heard no whiz and no bang.
Is there something we did wrong?
Do I need to just switch to making regular candles instead of Roman candles, even though that was my father's passion and not my own?
We even tried scented Roman candles. Smell like maple.
But they always smelled like maple and gunpowder.
Couldn't quite get the gunpowder smell out of it. But the gunpowder scented Roman candles sold like hot exploding cakes. I don't know.
Firework cake. You put a candle in it. When the candle burns all the way down, cake explodes into 8 different slices. Doesn't go everywhere. Just no cutting necessary.
You know, I mean, this is like the 4th or 5th billion-dollar idea that we've had on this podcast, and we're just sitting on them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at this point, all of you out there who are inventors, we're the ideas men. And we've proven time and time again that if you just sign a contract with us where we make most of the money from our ideas, we are going to give you so many ideas that you are going to be fine.
You're not even going to be mad that you're not making most of the money, because you'd be like, I don't need to make that much money.
Yeah. What am I, greedy? Here with my no ideas?
Yeah, don't contact us if you're greedy.
Yeah. You know what? Just forget it.
Yeah. Forget. We can just edit that out.
We're going to be fine. And we're going to edit it out. Jay, my first question for you about shoes is, when you arrived here today, my first question for you about shoes is a story that I'm going to tell you. When you arrived here today, and I was sitting outside, and you said, all right, shoes episode, and appropriately, you're not wearing any, you said to me.
Hmm.
And that is because, Jay, when I don't have to be wearing shoes, I don't wear them. Are you a person who, when you are at home, are you wearing shoes?
No, I'm wearing socks, and I slip on my shoes when it's time to go out on my balcony and smoke a Chifa Camel.
Because the balcony is not for socks.
Well, it's like a little bit dirty. It's never going to be clean enough to where I can wear shoes and not end up with some sort of stain on the bottom of my feet. And I don't want to track it in, so it's just like I got slip on some slip-ons and slip out and slip in, slip them off.
It's nice that they're called slip-ons. You do also slip them off, but that's sort of like a glass half full thing, probably. That's like, I'll be slipping these on at some point. I'll have somewhere that I am wanted.
That's true. And yeah. That was a burp, by the way.
Not a firework.
No.
What about a firework that just made a burping noise?
But it's one of the big boys. Hey, is this shoes episode or fireworks episode?
This episode is about shoes.
Like it's kind of about both. Not against
No,
it.
it's not. No.
Okay.
It's just about shoes. I like as little on my foot as possible, as often as possible. Including, I would rather go a sandal with no sock than a closed-toed shoe with sock.
You know, I used to wear closed-toed shoes all the time without socks, and I just love how that feels.
Yeah, it's like you're playing a little trick.
Yeah,
it's like, a little sneaky.
I was like, who needs socks?
Yeah,
nobody's gonna be like, oh my god, he doesn't have any socks on.
Well, they're never gonna know.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as you're wearing long pants.
Yeah, well, you know what? Here's the funny thing, if I may. There's a sock under there.
Oh, and I would have assumed there was not, and that you were playing a trick on me, but I was double tricked. This has been a setup.
I mean, don't take it personal. But.
And just since it is shoe episode, and since you showed your shoe, and so that I am not known as a liar, sandal. Very, very on the end of its rope sandal.
Yeah.
But would still prefer it.
It's, yeah. Well, unfortunately, I can't do it anymore because my feet started stinking too much when I got older.
Mine stink less. I would, as a child, I would squeeze my feet and I got all the stink out of them.
That's how you do it, huh?
That's how you do it. But you have to do it young, when your pores are open.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It would be too late for you to do it now. Sorry.
Oh, well.
Sorry that we didn't get to this episode when we were children. We weren't doing the podcast yet.
You know what would be cool is to get a plastic surgery on your feet. And it'd be pretty extensive, but you get implants of some sort on your feet in the shape of a shoe, okay? and then you get a tattoo in the color of whatever shoe you want to wear for the rest of your life. And then your feet are just shoes.
Cut out the middleman. And you could even, if you're somebody who likes to own a lot of different shoes, start with a light colored tattoo and then slowly darken it in.
Yeah.
So for a couple years, you're wearing yellow shoes,
Or,
then orange, then red. Then you're wearing purple shoes, blue shoes, black shoes, and then the end.
later on in life, you maybe get married, so it's like, well, I better get some black tattoo shoes. Get married for the suit. Yeah, I gotta go with the suit.
Well, we will. We would not really have necessarily gotten to this otherwise, so it's good that you mentioned it. In many cultures, people are buried without shoes because that way they can get to heaven better. I think something like that.
They can. Well, I mean, it's so that when they get up there and Saint Peter asks them for their shoe size for the bowling shoes, you know, slip into those bad boys.
Yeah, because they don't, in heaven, they don't want to be filling up all the cubbies with old shoes.
Can you imagine?
There's so
billions
many
of shoes.
So many.
It's like,
There's like at least 1 million people in heaven.
There's no more cubbies left. You guys
You just go.
You gotta go to hell. Sorry.
Can't I just throw my shoes down to hell? No. They could hit somebody on Earth on the way.
You really should have been buried without shoes. It really. Also, you go to somebody's house and they're like, please take off your shoes. And you're like, I'm talking about like the fake foot shoes.
Oh.
Like, they're my feet. Get out of my house.
I thought you were going off of the burying people without shoes, and so the person's like, can you take your shoes off, please? And you're like, is this guy trying to kill me?
I'll keep them on, thank you very much.
Yeah. Second big old shoe question
Yep.
for Shoes and Us in segment 1 here. How many pairs of shoes do you currently own? Do not lie. I'll know.
I currently own 4
Okay.
pairs of shoes. The slip-ons, aforementioned, that I slip on to slip in some nicotine into my system.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got these bad boys you just saw. Summer wear. Goes with my shorts. I don't want to be wearing black skinny jeans when it's 100 degrees out like some kind of freak. Okay.
Mhm.
No offense.
I did not take that as being referring to me.
Okay. When I do got my skinny boys on, I got my Chelsea boots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice little sleek look.
Yes, quite mod.
And then I almost didn't include another pair of Oxfords that I have that are just so beat up that I don't wear them anymore. But they are shoes, and I do own them. I'm just never going to wear them anywhere. They're all scuffed up.
You will promise me and the listeners right now that you will never wear them again? Because otherwise you did lie, which I expressly forbade. Or wait, no, that was only 4?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I apologize.
Thank you.
And also, fuck you for that skinny jeans comment earlier. I did know it was about me, and I was formulating my response, and I did formulate it, and it's fuck you.
Answer, fuck you. Just prints out.
Yeah, it's my
Fuck you, man.
retort bot.
Uber retort.
Yeah, go ahead and it's gonna be 5 minutes, but at the end of 5
Don't go
minutes,
anywhere.
fuck you.
Yeah.
So three wearing pairs and 1 worn out pair that you just don't have the heart to part with.
I got the heart to part. Honestly, probably shouldn't have included it in the total. Really.
I mean, you do own them, so it was correct of you to do
I
so.
might wear them again. Who knows? Maybe there's gonna be like a dressed up, but you got in a car wreck on the way here party. You know those. They'd be perfect for such a party.
That's a great party name, actually. Like
It's actually
it is a party where the theme is fancy dress, but something really bad happened to you on the way. That like
That's really great.
That's fun.
Everybody has to have their own story of why they're all
Yeah.
disheveled.
Yeah. This is good.
I like that.
This party might happen one day.
I think it has to, yeah.
I think so.
You just get Goodwill shit and, you know, run the weed whacker on it or something. I don't know.
Yeah. And the story for that person is, I bought this really nice outfit at Goodwill, but then I went to the weed whacker aisle of Goodwill, and one had been left on by accident.
Oh, I like this suit. I'm gonna check out the weed whackers real fast. Oh no!
Just see if they have any weed whackers I like. This one looks good. Ah!
My suit. I gotta go to a party.
So, Jay, in wonderful Metaphiles fashion, we own the same number of shoes.
Oh, pray tell.
Yes. Sandals, soon to be thrown away and replaced by ones that are not completely broken. And more on that in a moment. Work shoes, simple black laced Dr. Scholl's insert, because, hey, come on. Why not? Why not? Then I got a pair of like beach or pool shoes that are just like little slip-ons, good for walking across the beach or at a pool in.
What are they, like canvas or
They're something.
shoe material?
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
made out of sand. That's why they're so good for the beach.
I wouldn't doubt that exists, honestly.
Probably. And then number 4, a kind of going out mojo shoe, similar to your Chelsea boots.
Those ones are the black lace-up canvas shoes, right?
No, they're brown and they have like a kind of crazy
Really?
die cut in them. I don't know what you would
I
call
think
it.
it's Baroque, not the music style. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong.
Yeah. I don't know. The thing is, I don't really know a lot about shoes.
Nor I.
Yeah. Well, that's why we do this.
We're about to know a lot about shoes.
Yeah. And by the end of this episode, I think we'll each own at least one extra pair of shoes in our minds.
Okay.
Yeah.
And all these shoes are going to listen to us talking about them and be like, they're getting this all wrong. Sand shoes? Are they crazy?
Sand shoes, I know them. They're assholes. So, the next big shoe question that I think one must get to
Sure.
is, did you ever have a very most favorite pair of shoe? I sure did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you got? I don't know if I have.
When I was in my teens, I was given a pair of sandals by a friend's father. They were made by the Arizona Jean Company. And I wore these sandals so much that they truly became an extension of my foot. Wearing them was as close to wearing no shoes at all as I will ever experience.
That's what you want out of a shoe.
That's exactly what I wanted, and that's exactly what I got. And I loved these shoes so much that I wore them through at least one, and I think 2 entire West Virginia winters, which are very snowy and cold. And I would walk through snow in these Arizona Jean Company sandals because I just didn't want to ever wear anything else.
You didn't have socks on.
Jay, socks with sandals is a crime, the likes of which No, I went through it. And the secret was, we had a vent at my house that blew hot air up. It
Like
blew
the-
hot up.
Like the bowling thing, but hot air.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I would walk through the snow to get home in my wonderful sandals that I loved. And then I would take them off and I would kiss them and I would put them down and I would stand on the vent and get the hot air
Yeah.
on my cold feet.
Ooh, that must have felt so good.
It was very nice.
Oh, man.
And I wore them until they absolutely fell apart, and like there was no saving them. And then I put them on a boat, and I sent it out to sea, and I shot a flaming arrow at it.
Just, you made the shot with one arrow, just 2 little shoes.
I always make the shot with one arrow. Yeah.
All right.
And I love those shoes so much. I think they were with me for about 5 years. I've never bought another pair of Arizona jean sandals because I'm worried that it wouldn't be the same. But maybe it's time.
I think it's time, man. You know?
I'd like the listeners to comment. Is it time? Do I try to love again?
He don't want to break his heart.
I don't want to break my feet's heart.
Shit, man. Don't think I have had a pair of shoes that I've loved that much. I was thinking about it, and I had this pair of boat shoes, and I know those are definitely done these days. They're a classic shoe, so I think they're going to come back like all classic clothing at some point does. But they were this pair of Sebago boat shoes.
Sebago.
Yeah, and they
like their
lasted...
pizza.
Huh? The pizza, it does sound like a fucking pizza. They lasted a good 10 years. And again, I wear them all the time without socks. And they were just, it's leather, so it just, so, it's like you were saying, it's like you're not even wearing a pair of fucking shoes.
Yeah.
It was just so perfect.
And so,
it's fashion choice, dubious, but I'd wear those motherfuckers again.
I would say at the point where it was year 7, you had to have made them your own. And whether the world considered them gauche or not, was like, you know Jay, that guy who wears the boat shoes? Oh yeah, I like that guy. Great shoes.
There you go. Get gauche or go home.
Yes. Please give yourself one. Get gauche or go home. Oh my God, almost
So
certainly a t-shirt and almost certainly the episode title as well.
There you go.
So what we both came to there in our fond remembering of our favorite shoes was that in both instances we felt like we weren't wearing shoes at all, and isn't that an interesting bit of foreshadowing?
Really?
Yes. Because eventually we will, of course, ask the question in segment 3, why shoes?
Mm-hmm.
And it seems that both of us think, why not shoes? But we'll find out in segment 3. And we got so much fun in store until then.
Ooh, it's gonna be so good.
Oh my gosh. Oh. I wish we could be in segment 3 and then go back and do segment 2 and then be in segment 3 again.
We'll
But
be there
first,
soon.
We will. We will.
First, it's time for Leia Playas.
That's correct. The podcast within the podcast, Leia Playas, began.
It began as soon as I started saying it.
Mm-hmm.
As always. Yeah, you know, this is my time, and I just try to tell you guys about podcasts that are going to be better podcasts than this one, and I know that's hard to imagine, but that's why I strive for the very best every week. So, my idea this week, and it's not going to be a very good podcast. Maybe a good way to make money with a podcast is a better way to say it. My Leia Playas idea is, so you have a podcast officially, maybe you can trademark it or wherever else. Or no, you couldn't trademark it, but you would be a podcast where people who have podcasts, let's say they have an idea for a podcast, and they don't quite have it yet. Maybe they're waiting for a guest. Maybe they're waiting for the right moment.
Maybe they're on their own podcast and don't have an idea for their own podcast yet.
Oh, I got the idea.
Okay.
What I'm saying is they would contact this podcast and tell them to do an episode that they're trying to do in the future that they're scared somebody else might do it. So they're like, oh, that's such a good idea, but we're not ready for it yet. Hopefully somebody else doesn't do it. Let's contact this podcast and they'll do a short episode about it. 5 minutes. Okay? Just so nobody else can do it and say they did it first.
Right. So it's like this as yet unnamed podcast. Do you have a name for it?
Yeah, but I'm saving it.
Okay. This as yet unnamed podcast does it for 5 minutes under contract with the person who suggested it, that when that person is ready to do that podcast,
They'll delete it.
They will delete it and creative rights to it go back to the original person.
All for a fee, of course.
It's like a bank,
Yeah, well,
perhaps.
some such thing, somewhat similar.
What is similar to a bank? Can I guess Jay's
The
name
title?
yet? I don't want to guess it. I just want to
Well, I
be
mean,
surprised like everybody
we
else.
spelled it out. That's the idea.
It's a great idea.
It'd be called Layaway a Playas. Like layaway.
Layaway of players. And I want that to come up on the screen just for this week, if you'll permit.
Let's switch it over now.
Because we are doing layaway for layaway of players right now on Laya Playas on Metaphones.
Yeah, if anybody does this idea, if anybody makes Layaway a Playas, you better kick us back some money, because otherwise we're gonna sue you for all your worth.
Yes, and all your t-shirts.
Mm-hmm. We'll have lots of shoes after that.
Yeah, I might get up to 6 pair.
Sky's the limit. The
Yeah.
ground's the limit.
And for me, the sky is 6.
But hey, this has been Laya Playas. That's
Yeah. Okay, I want to try and do something real quick. And it's going to
Sure.
take me like 5 seconds to get to it. Okay, so it's 2 buddies. And they're trying to go to the liquor store to get some liquor. But they are on a budget. And so the one guy says, well, what can we afford to get at the liquor store? And the other guy says, well, sky's the limit. Sky vodka. That's as high as we could probably afford. Sky's the limit.
It's probably a pilot joke all the time, right? They're
Like in pilots for sitcoms?
no, like a pilot who flies a plane. They're like, yeah, I'm trying to get up into I'm trying to pilot for Southwestern, you know?
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, hey, the sky's the limit.
And then they cheers because they're both so drunk.
Yeah.
Because of pilots, we all know already. Because
And
that
then-
was on an earlier episode.
And they got the toy airplanes. Yeah.
There you go.
Sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Choose. And we are back and shoes.
Shoes.
Shoes!
These shoes come untied too easily, even without help.
Can I tell a joke I thought of the other day?
That's why we're here.
So, and you already know this joke. I told it to you already before
never mind,
before I
definitely not.
realized that I should just do it on the podcast. A rare moment of lack of pod professionalism where I just got excited about a joke and I just told my friend the joke and I wasn't thinking about the show. Sorry.
You gotta keep that locked down, man.
Yeah. No more off mic jokes from now on. We will only talk about serious subjects until the mics go on.
Right. Dead serious.
Dead serious. So, did you know that Kid Rock's dad actually made music too?
No.
Yeah, Dad Rock. Kid Rock's dad, Dad Rock.
Which is amazing.
And that's the end of segment 2.
We'll be right back.
No, of course, in segment 2, we learn about shoes and the world.
A lot of different shoe customs, feelings, traditions, norms.
Absolutely.
A lot of different shoes.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk about every single one of them, and we're not going to miss any.
This is going to be a long segment.
Yeah. Well, it's a 3-hour episode this week.
Well, I guess we'll just have to try to talk as fast as we possibly can.
Yeah. So, in Belgium, there are shoes that are known as clogs and shoes that are known as...
Wow. This is like the West Wing.
Oh, what if a shoe was a balloon?
It's like an Aaron Sorkin show. I swear it's like he directs his show, or he doesn't even direct them, but there's like, they have to say it as fast as possible.
Yeah. He should have directed the Chipmunks movie because they do all that by speeding up. Not to just, sorry to blow everybody's bubble here, but the Chipmunks do not actually talk that fast or that high. They pitch it up and speed it up. So Aaron Sorkin should have done that because he likes it when things go so fast.
We could have got some great television.
I wish that we had gotten to this idea before we got to it, so we could have prepared a Sorkin segment. But that's okay. Next week, maybe.
We should have talked about these funny things off air.
Yeah. So instead of what I said before, let's only talk about really funny things off mic. And then on mic, let's just quit all this screwing around and
all the scuttlebutt and
all the grab ass. And we'll only talk about really serious things on the show, except then also if we said something really funny that is a good segment with green screen effects, we'll do that.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So we'll be discussing, the Senate. And now here is if Aaron Sorkin directed a Chipmunks movie. And we'll do that. And then back to the Senate. So this is good.
That'd be funny if drama shows just had a quick comedy break every episode.
Yeah. Like in the middle of every episode of Breaking Bad, there's just like a little sketch comedy. Because this show's like very, intense. It'd be nice if just all of a sudden Walter White was like doing a Joe Biden impersonation and saying funny, silly things.
What's this actor's name again?
Bryan Cranston.
Introducing Bryan Cranston. Just in the middle of the Breaking Bad episode.
Yeah. Musical guest, one sliding guitar note. That's the Breaking Bad theme song, right?
Oh, jeez, it's been so long since I watched it.
I think it was.
It does do that.
It does do that.
It do. I think that covers shoes in the world.
I think so. Yeah.
Now, what do you got? What do you got?
Oh, well.
Let's get educated here.
Sure. This is one where there's no giving the history of it exactly because people wore shoes from forever, basically. It didn't take long for people to be like, all these rocks hurt. I should strap a piece of leather onto this bottoms.
You're out there trying to track down a woolly mammoth, you step on a Lego. You're like, there's got to be something we can do.
There must be something. We can't stop making these Legos.
I definitely can't stop bringing the wife home woolly mammoths. I keep telling her to go on a diet, but I don't know. Anyways.
If only I could make a woolly mammoth out of Legos. However, The oldest known shoes. There was one found in. It was carbon dated or whatever to having been made in 7,000 to 8,000 BCE.
Just a little bit before bowling.
Just a little. For both of these examples of oldest shoes, they're not the oldest shoes ever made. They're just made of materials that stood the test of time.
Sure.
These ones from possibly 8,000 BCE were made of sagebrush bark, and they were sandals, and they were found in Oregon, proving that even in 8,000 BCE, Oregon was lousy with hippies.
Lousy with hippies. That's a good one.
Thank you.
That's what every late night show joke wants to be.
I know.
You just solved late night shows. Formulation, delivery, just chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Which proves even lousy with hippies.
I mean, of my dream jobs, late night host pretty high up there.
That'd be a lot of fun.
It's kind of what we're pretending that we do here every week.
It'd be nice if we had a bunch of people just fucking watching us because they have to. Well,
Yeah.
because they want
Yeah.
to.
And then every once in a while, Paul Rudd comes on and tells a story about how his kid fell in the
That'd be great.
frozen lake or something.
He's good now. He thawed out, but all right, okay. It's kind of Ronnie Dangerfield.
A frozen lake.
Old Letterman laugh.
So yeah, that's longest surviving shoe. The other one was found in Armenia and is 5,500 years old, and that is the oldest known leather shoe. Which like fully intact. They found pieces of leather that they're like, this was probably
Right.
meant to go
Gotcha.
here, but this one stayed all the way there.
Yeah, that's kind of strange to me, real quick, that leather is that non-biodegradable. Because it's organic completely.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, you'd think anything biodegradable, that because it is bio completely, that's really something. Leather is an amazing material.
Yeah.
It's amazing that we figured out how to do that.
Figured it out so early. I wouldn't know how to figure out leather right now. And I have so many resources to figure it out.
It's pretty, I mean, shit. No, I got it all figured out.
Yeah?
You kill a cow, you take its skin off,
Uh-huh.
you stretch that beautiful skin out a whole lot, and you leave it in the sun for about a month, and you got leather.
That's it? You don't have to like hit it with hammers or anything? I would
Maybe
assume
do.
there would be something like that.
There's
involved.
got to be some little extra step like that, maybe some kind of moisturizing
Yeah.
thing going on too. But
Do
you just sun it for long enough.
Would you want to rub salt all over it? Because
You probably would.
Okay. We should try.
Make our own Metaphiles leather, leather T-shirts. That would not.
It'd save me a lot of money on these.
We just gotta find some cows to slaughter.
Yeah, that's easier than going through that company that I was using.
Yeah. You don't have to learn Chinese or Japanese.
I have to learn which one it is.
Right.
No, let's just find where there's a cow. Get
Peeler
it
one.
away
Yeah.
from where it is.
Some grass would do the trick.
Yeah. Just leave a trail of grass for it, leading all the way back to Metaphile Studios. And then, one real quick Anton Chigurh, and a few months and some salt and some hammers later, leather T-shirts.
It's like 5-10 T-shirts right there.
Yeah.
We're figuring this podcasting thing out as we go.
Yeah, and then I mean also like, I feel like I could figure out how to make roast beef, so we could sell Metaphiles roast beef sandwiches too.
Ooh. Metaphiles. Yeah. Maybe we're in the wrong business. We need to rustle cattle instead of yucks.
Yeah. But for now, we got a few more yucks to wrestle on this, our final episode, because we're getting into the leather business from now on. So that one that was that old and made of leather, it was found in a pit in a cave. And also in the pit was a broken bowl, a broken pot, and some goat horns. And also found in that cave is the oldest ever winery in the world.
Wow.
6,100 years old. So, I think we all know what happened, right?
What?
Some drunk fell in a pit. Lost one of their shoes.
Some wine mom, yeah. Hey, by the way,
he was getting chased by a goat, lost one of his shoes. He was super drunk, fell in a pit, broke a bowl in a pot. And
isn't a pit inside of a cave just still a cave? Am I crazy? I mean, that's just what's called a cave. Anyways, hey, splitting hairs here.
What is a cave but a series of pits?
Yeah. Seriously.
So those are oldest known shoes. Seriously. But this is a good one. The reason that scientists are certain that shoes existed beyond this is because studies of human remains dating as far back as 40,000 to 26,000 years ago, our toes started getting narrower. And they surmised that we started wearing shoes, and our whole skeleton changed from it.
And how evolved were we at that point? 40,000. I mean, I guess we were fully Homo sapiens at that point, but
we haven't done caveman episode yet, so I don't know for sure.
That's a good episode.
Yes, but also what this leads me to think is, prior to us putting on shoes, our feet were big. As in,
our cracks were big too. Big feet, you know what they say?
Big feet, big foot.
Oh.
We were Bigfoot until shoes.
So Bigfoot is just a subsect of humanity that said, fuck shoes, who needs that shit?
Apes turned into Bigfoot. Bigfoot was like, I'm going to put some shoes on, and ruined everything.
That's funny.
Sad.
Ruined everything, huh?
Yeah.
We wouldn't have been doing this podcast. But maybe we'd still be better off, who knows? Wouldn't have had taxes.
Hey. Yeah, Bigfoot never pays taxes. Yeah. That's my theory. So, in the medieval times, there was a style of shoe that was popular. Oh, also,
Air Jordans?
Yep. But it was spelled A-E-R with the A and the E that are like one letter.
Ye old Air Jordans. Yeah.
It was not until the Romans that shoes became a status symbol. The Greeks felt that shoes were ostentatious.
You see them a lot in the paintings of them without no shoes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just, these are like snapshots because everywhere in the world people were wearing shoes and it all developed differently everywhere.
Yeah.
But these are just some impressionistic snapshots. Unlike our normal episodes where we cover every single thing.
All the footnotes and everything.
Yeah. But yeah, Romans were like, the shoes are status symbols now. And that's when shoe as fashion begins. Is with the good old Romans.
Well, it's still going strong. You got the gladiator sandals. Big hit with the ladies.
Yeah.
Don't mind them. I think they look good.
Yeah. They're cool.
But here we are, 50,000 years later after the Roman Empire, and people are still wearing them.
Still doing as the Romans do. there was a style of shoe in medieval times that was popular that they would get as long as 2 feet long.
Get out.
And they were very pointy at the end, and they would fill the points with moss and hay and stuff. And
That's just weird.
these were all the rage in medieval times. Again, you see many paintings with them. They would the style of art had borders around everything back then, but you see many paintings where the shoe goes out of the border so they could show off how long they had painted it.
They can't even fit the shoe in one border.
Well, no, it was like they were breaking the rules in their painting to show the shoe like that, which I thought was kind of cool.
Kind of like punky,
Yeah,
sort of.
yeah. It was like
That's cool.
It was like the graffiti of then. But guess what the church had to say about these shoes, Jay? I bet you can.
Well, since they don't like anything cool, they probably didn't like them very much.
They sure didn't. They said, first of all, that the shoes were impractical, and that impracticality leads to laziness and incapacity. Then they also said, too phallic.
Oh,
We're like, you must stop wearing those shoes. They look like delicious dicks to me, and they have to cut it out. You're getting lazy, and it's so hot. Just take them off.
the priest just gets on the pulpit. So you see all these people walking around with dick shoes everywhere. It's going to hell with the whole society. That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But they were impractical.
They were impractical, and impracticality leads to laziness / incapacity.
Wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah. But as happens, a story that we've heard before, all of a sudden kings and the nobility, they start to like the look of these dick shoes, and so they're like, well, guess what? You have to make a certain amount of money for your shoes to be allowed to be that long, and all of a sudden the nobility is the only ones who are allowed to have dick shoes because they set up toe length regulations.
Oh my lord.
Yeah. And and again, as we see happen time and again, as soon as that was the case, and now they're rich people's shoes, guess what gets popular?
The complete opposite.
Short shoes.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Well, it's like bowling, right?
Yeah.
You know, they're like, all the royalty was like, no more bowling! Because they bowled a 90.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm done with this.
Yeah. And so then people start getting into short shoes, and then the church is like, the shoes look too much like boobs.
You see all these people walking around with short dick shoes. It's so stupid.
So there's that.
What a totally batshit crazy point in history.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't be familiar with that either.
Yeah. Two other real super quick ones, just shoes of the world. Clogs, the wooden shoe, an oft mocked shoe. Turns out they were made out of wood because they were typically worn by people who were either farmers or worked in mines or factories, and that was a very safe shoe for them to be wearing.
Oh, so it's kind of like a hardtail.
Yeah. Yeah. The steel-toed boot equivalent of its day.
I always figured it was because it was the lowlands, so you got all that soggy ground you're living on, so wood doesn't get affected by that.
Perhaps it is that as well,
Probably
and
both.
it is that as well.
I mean, yeah. Surely both, obviously, yeah.
And then lastly, there's a shoe that was called a Sabaton, and this just really surprised and tickled me. The Sabaton is the shoe part of a knight's armor. It was a separate, it was a little shoe.
Sure, sure, that metal is gonna be abrasive to your little tootsies there.
I never thought about it, and like I don't think I just never thought about it. But of course, it wouldn't be like the full shoe and leg that the knight steps all the way. But I just love a knight in like his boxers and undershirt, just putting his metal shoes on first. He's like, I gotta get to work.
So wait, I'm thinking of like an undergarment for the feet, but you're talking that's what the actual
It's
metal shoe.
It literally was like the shoe you're wearing right now, except it was made out of
Bro,
steel.
that's gonna come back in the next decade.
Yeah.
Metal shoes, that's gonna fucking happen.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Yeah.
Probably because of this episode.
I think so. Let's bring back the Sabaton. But yeah, it gets up. Oh, I gotta get to work. Clank.
Every morning he does the same dad joke. Oh, I stubbed my toe. Oh.
Just kidding. That would be impossible.
That is pretty cool. Pretty cool way to live.
He's going to get his coffee. Clank, 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 clank. So, that's shoes in the world. We'll be right back.
Be right back.
Clank, 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 clank. And we're back.
And we're back.
All right. Shoes, segment 3. Metaphiles, segment 3. Shoes, 3, segment. Third segment of Metaphiles, shoes, subset, segment 3. Why shoes?
Like an outline or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, just an easy way to keep track of things for us and for the listeners.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Why shoes?
shoes? Or why not shoes? And let's just bring it straight back to where we were before, and this is where we begin from. You and I both described our favorite shoe we ever wore as though we were not wearing shoes at all.
Yeah.
But if we really weren't wearing shoes at all, is that what we really want?
Yeah, but oftentimes there's a lot of really good reasons why you can't have what you want.
Yeah. One such reason being
Legos.
Legos. And often there is a piece of broken glass all over the place on the ground.
I want that. I want that less more than I want shoes less.
You want broken glass on the ground / in your foot more than you want shoes on your foot less.
No, I want broken glass on my foot less more than I don't want shoes.
This is segment 3, Metaphiles, segment 3, third segment. Less broken glass, more than less shoes.
Just a simple mathematical equation for you.
Very basic stuff here. Yeah, I don't want to step on that.
But that's why we like that so much. A
We
shoe
do.
that you notice as little as possible.
Because it makes you think that we are living a simpler life.
Yeah.
When your foot is bare and between your toes is not broken glass,
Is air.
but is air. No, is the green grass or the nice sandy beach.
Is this like
or
a Beatles song or like the Monkees or like the
it's the song that the Beatles and the Monkees put out together. It's
Gotcha.
called Shoes for Who's. It was one of their best songs
I remember that
that
one.
they ever did together.
Kind of stunk, honestly, in my opinion.
Well, so does shoes sometimes, you know what I mean?
That's the joke.
Oh, sorry.
But also, you know what? Sometimes you got to dunk.
Mm.
And you can't do that barefoot. You got to have some more Jordans on or some
Yeah.
stuff like that.
By the way, the Nike Air Jordan, the most popular shoe of all time,
Well,
based on sales.
I think out of all the facts that I've had to guess and been oft wrong in my answer, that would be the most. Everybody would say that.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. It's like the best basketball player Michael Jordan. You instantly know who it is. So it's kind of like the same thing.
That's
right?
the guy who made those shoes?
Yeah. Tall fella played
Yeah.
basketball.
He threw that and it went in the hoop. Almost most of the time. Like,
More than just about anybody else.
Yeah. And he also was good at making shoes. Huh. Polyglot. Good for him. Yeah. So,
hey, I want the best things to happen to him.
but to go back is
Sure.
when you are not wearing the shoe and your foot is on the earth, that is nice. You feel like you're on the earth.
Yeah.
And you are of the earth. And we are all one thing together.
There's
But
got to be something there.
yeah,
Just, I mean, like you're saying,
there's got to.
something real that transfers up into your body
Yeah.
through your soul,
Yeah.
as it were.
Yeah. So we like to wear a shoe that feels like we're not wearing a shoe, so that we can feel like we're having that experience even when we're not.
Hmm.
That's you and me.
Mm-hmm.
I like a sandal because it's the littlest shoe possible.
What about flip flops, by the way?
Motherfuck a flip flop. That thing that goes in right there in between the big and the second toe, the index toe, that thing is torturous.
It's like sardines or green olives or golf.
Well, two of
You
those
gotta-
things that you said I think are good things.
Well, you just gotta just do it, and then you'll start to like it.
Hmm.
And you won't mind this, and then you won't mind the weird part.
I'll
then
develop some
you'll-
kind of callus on my webbing.
Yeah, I mean that's probably exactly it. Actually, yeah.
Mm.
And then you'll even have even smaller shoes. I mean, I'm telling you, man, I'm trying to help you here.
All right, but also, as we are learning over the course of Metaphiles, I don't like. There's a lot of noises that bother me, and the flip and the flop and the
Really, bit
stupid.
exaggerated.
No, I don't think it was at all. No, that's a stupid noise, and
Okay.
I think it sounds dumb and annoying.
Okay.
No, I could never be a flip flopper.
That makes me want to start wearing flip flops. No, I'm just joking. It probably
I mean,
cancel this podcast and stop being friends.
yeah, I'm not gonna do this podcast with a dumb guy.
Well, I got bad news for you, pal. You're on episode 15 or 16.
17. Uh-oh.
Yeah. I knew it would come out at some point. You dumb guy.
Have you ever had somebody ask you how old you are and you don't immediately know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sober or... No, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I have it kind of
But,
lucky
I mean-
where
Yeah.
the last number of my age is always the same as the last number of the year, so I don't have to do any
awesome.
math or anything.
Holy moly.
Yeah. But when I check people's IDs as a bartender and I have to like subtract 21 from 1999, I
There
just
you
am
go.
like close enough.
Here you go.
I'm sure
Drink up.
I'm sure it's fine.
That's funny you've been handicapped. Not your
Mm.
feet, but the feet in your heart. You're like someone who has worn shoes their whole life suddenly forced to go barefoot.
Hmm.
They're
Yes.
at a disadvantage.
Yes. But in my
I've been
regular
wearing
life,
birthday date shoes
birthday shoes.
this whole time.
So when I hear somebody be like, "I'm 33," I'm like, "Wow, you poor, poor sap." Or lucky sap, who knows, you know? It's
Make
just a
do.
number, right? Shoes. Why shoes?
Why shoe sizes? That's a number.
Yeah. Oh man, there was a thing that I got to with why shoe sizes that was like, I couldn't even understand where to start writing it down, because it's like in the US and the UK, shoe sizes are based on 1/3 of an inch more than what they would be, which is a unit of measurement that's called a bean. And that led me to a thing where it's like all the different units of measurement there are. There's like people will measure things in a poppy. It was a whole weird avenue that I was like, I don't have time.
You should play basketball, man. You're like 300 baked beans tall. Bush's baked beans. Dumb shits.
Dumb idiots who don't know how old they are.
poppy seeds. We measure. Oh, my foot. I gotta count the poppy seeds.
7 poppy seeds equals 1 bean. 2 beans equals 1 cheese. 4 cheeses equals 1 furlong.
And 5 equals 1 England.
So how many poppy seeds is England long?
Scientists have been working for decades. The wind. They need to stop the wind. It messes up the beans.
So stupid.
If we have any English listeners ever,
We're very
they're
sorry.
loving it right now. They're like, finally someone's talking about it. We just want to use inches, please. If the Queen would just let us use inches. I hate that bloody Queen.
No, I like it better that they're like,
Somebody finally understands how the units of measurement.
Oh yeah, they.
like
Well,
you're still
look, we
that
will.
dumb.
We're
We're really
gonna.
sorry though.
We are sorry, and we are going to do an episode that is measurements.
Ooh,
I will learn what a poppy is and a furlong and things. Furlong would be easy to find, but
we've come up with like 2 or 3 episodes ideas this podcast. Wow.
yeah, and that's not even including that we did a mini fireworks episode at the beginning, and like so much more to cover there, obviously. But why shoes? We've covered why shoes. They are necessary. There's just no getting around it. There's so much broken glass everywhere.
What else have we talked about that is purely necessary?
Not much. Shoes as fashion
Yeah.
is its own whole other thing, which we mostly have avoided because, again, one of these topics that I don't feel like we have any right to address. You know what I mean?
I think I give good shoe fashion advice for guys, at least.
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, okay. What do you think of mine? You've seen them already, but let's see them again. Hot or not?
Well, if you ever need to put a fire out, that's going to come in handy. That's the prop. Get rid of this weight. Get rid of that. Wow. We have a prop every episode.
Yeah.
Sometimes we make jokes about it, but it's just mostly existing on the table. It's just a prop. Sometimes it's useful, sometimes it's not.
Not.
Sometimes it's usurped. You slurped
Ooh.
by some clown shoes. Those are great.
Did I really surprise you?
Yeah.
Great. This may be edited out, but Jay went upstairs in between segments and I switched him out as a little sneaky prank.
Didn't notice.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do we want to get into the idea of shoes as fashion at all? It's people like it. Fashion's art, and people like art, right?
Yeah. But let's do one quick thing here.
Mm-hmm.
What celebrity have you seen with the worst shoes? And you're just like, why would you wear those?
Well, Jason Ford.
Hey, I'm not a celebrity, so.
I was just imagining when I see you in flip-flops, that would be my answer then. And of course you're a celebrity. You're one of the hosts of Metaphiles podcast.
Damn right.
No, I really have no answer to that at all.
You know what?
I don't know that I've ever looked at any celebrity's shoe ever. I'm no Quentin Tarantino.
I'd go with Red Skelton. Or shoes. Any celebrity. That's it. Anyways,
Give yourself a ding.
we're hot.
We're hot.
Those-
Shoes as fashion, art, yes. Commerce, I'm gonna say no. You want to guess what the most expensive shoe ever is?
I would guess.
Not what it is, how much it was.
Well, I would guess some antique pair of shoes that belong to somebody very important.
Mm-mm.
No, okay. So you're talking MSRP. Clearly, it's very recent.
Yes.
What's the vibe? You know, it would have to be something because it would have to be something cultural, popular, you know, pop cultural.
Nope.
No?
Just
Nope.
pure.
Material?
Yeah. Pure fashionista swankiness.
Okay. Swanky.
It doesn't
swanky
have
pumps.
like. It doesn't have like a piece of Michael J. Fox's skin sewn into it or anything like that. It's like it's for rich people to wear at rich people events.
Okay, Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo boots.
Ooh. I don't know. I'm going to go with a shoe made out of... I'm going to go with a 3D printed shoe made out of meerschaum.
What's meerschaum? Is that like an NFT?
People make pipes out of it. It's like a white substance.
Okay. No, it is.
Didn't think I was going to be right there.
It is the Passion Diamond shoe, and it is made out of gold and encrusted with diamonds.
Honestly, that's shitty.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's such a basic idea for the most expensive shoe.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty hack.
Yeah.
And guess what it costs to be a hack? $17 million.
Yeah, that's the biggest hack I've heard yet.
Yeah. So, shoes as commerce. Let's just come on. I guarantee you the person who was wearing those didn't have as good a time as I did wearing my Arizona Jean Company sandals. Hell no, they didn't.
I'll say one thing: they didn't walk through the fucking West Virginia snow in them. That's for
No.
damn sure.
And they weren't happy to do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
They probably wore it to the event and then took it off when they were walking home. You know what I mean?
They can't buy for $17 million the feeling you had when you wore those shoes.
And the feeling I had when I stepped out of them and onto that heat vent, that was a $17 million feeling at least.
That's highfalutin right there.
Mm-hmm. I was
Living at the top.
I was in the lap of luxury.
That's why shoes. You said it in the first segment. So you can take them off and get your feet warm in the lovely stream of warm air.
I'm gonna cut it down even slightly further. Why shoes is so later you can take them off.
Ooh.
Slip offs.
Slip off is better. Yeah.
It's because what's better than getting home from having walked around on all the broken glass that's everywhere and knowing that you made it through safely, and then you get home.
Your dogs are tired.
Kick them suckers off. Put your feet up.
Watch the
and
game.
Watch the game. And know that you lived another day successfully on this glass-covered Earth planet.
And also, they're solid gold and kind of hurt your feet.
Yeah.
It cost you $17 million.
Shoes, to me, the $17 million shoes, those are trap drawer. But my
Yeah.
Arizona Jean Company sandals, those are up in Pinewood.
I don't need bowling shoes. I'll wear these.
I'm going to
Thank
stick with what I got, St. Pete. So, for me,
St. Pete.
we must average it out. And shoes, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Whatever. I wear them when I have to, and then the second I don't have to be wearing them anymore, I'm done with it.
Well, we never have relegated somebody to the trapdoor on such a peripheral example.
Mm-mm.
You know, an outlier.
Yeah, no, one aspect of a thing cannot be
Of course
trap drawer.
not.
The
so.
entirety of the thing must be judged on its own merits by a jury of its peers, which is us. So, yeah.
I agree. I mean, yep, of course. These shoes were made for podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
That's all
Yep.
I got.
And that is just what they did. And one of these days, these shoes are going to podcast all over you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
All over everybody. One of these days, these shoes are going to get tons of likes from loving fans all over you. Why is it called a sole? Why is it called the sole of your foot?
Well, there's a fish that's called the sole that's spelled the same way. So is it from when
Fish shoes.
in ancient times we would strap fish to our feet?
Imagine that. Fish shoes.
And then the Lego just gets embedded in the fish. The woolly mammoth smells the fish, comes running. You quickly step aside.
You try to, but you slip because your shoes are a little bit slimy.
You slip, and so the mammoth misses you, goes right over top of you, falls in a pit. You go have a big old clay pot full of wine.
A goat suddenly appears.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, you've been dead for 40,000 years, and some scientist is creeping on your shoe.
Yeah, measuring your toes like a real Quentin Tarantino.
Surprised you didn't make more of an appearance on this episode.
Well, because it's shoes, not feet.
Yeah, right.
I don't think we
He
know
hates
how
shoes more than anybody.
he hates them so much because they're getting in the way of his favorite thing.
Shoes, I hate them.
The thing about shoes, okay, is let's just get rid of them. Okay?
For Tarantino, shoes are a trap drawer.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And hey, Quentin, if you're watching, we wish you the best. You know, no offense.
Yeah,
or anything
we
like
do.
that.
Please make more than one movie. But hey, if you want to come on to the podcast even after you have made one more movie, that's fine too. And we'll show you our feet if that's what you want.
It's not. I can tell you, it's not.
It's not.
You need so many different shoes for so many different activities: tap dancing, boating,
Ballet.
bowling, ballet,
Work.
hockey, NHL,
Mm-hmm.
NFL,
Tennis has its own shoe.
soccer.
Um,
There's more utility to this subject than any other that we've talked about, even more than Ziploc.
yeah. Yeah, it's tough because you really could do a whole episode that is shoes subset cleats.
Yeah.
At which point it would be shoes subset cleats, subset segment 3 cleats, subset why cleats, why not cleats, subset cleats RE trap drawer, subset / cleats RE pinewood, subset /
D minus. You're gonna have to take this course next year.
All right, well, I failed shoe school.
How long did it take you to learn to tie your shoes?
Oh, very, very long.
Really?
Yeah, very long. Couldn't crack it. Which is maybe why I still love sandals so much, in part. I am very good at it now. I can tie them every time, almost.
Oh yeah, do it with your clown shoes. You're gonna take one off and tie it up. I just wanted to see the clown shoes again.
Little peek, Quentin. Okay, so just, and then like that, and then just kind of.
Oh no! No!
This is part of the sign off that I said.
This is part of the sign off that I say. Let's cut.
Hey, this is Zach Caffrey,
This is Jason Ford.
and And we're the hosts of Metaphiles, the podcast that you just finished watching and technically are still watching. And while you're here, if you could, just go ahead and like this episode, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave a comment if you're so inclined. Maybe the comment could be about, and then it'll say whatever the topic was that week. So this is that.
Metaphiles.